by existing and being ambitious and wanting things.
Also on the show, Australian director Emil Courtin-Wilson on his extraordinary documentary Man on Earth, and I talked to the Ghanaian-American actor and director Nana Mensah about her gorgeous debut film Queen of Glory. All that and more coming up on the Arts Hour.
BBC News. Hello, this is Jerry Smith. Ukraine says there's intense fighting in almost the entire territory of the occupied Kherson region, where an offensive was announced on Monday. President Zelensky told Russian occupiers if they wanted to survive, it was time for them to flee. Sasha Schlichter reports.
The latest briefing from the presidency speaks of powerful explosions throughout Monday and into Tuesday morning, and of heavy fighting across Kherson region. Video online shows black plumes of smoke rising above Kherson city. Regional officials said the long-awaited offensive was the beginning of the de-occupation of Kherson region. In an intelligence note, the British Defence Ministry said although it was not yet possible to confirm the extent of Ukrainian advances, its army had increased artillery fire in frontline sectors across southern Ukraine.
Ukrainian soldiers could receive training from the European Union if agreement is reached when EU ministers meet in Prague later today. Ukrainians are already receiving military training in Poland, France and the Czech Republic. The move is backed by the bloc's foreign policy chief, Josep Borrell, but he said he expects opinions to be divided.
Several member states will have different ideas, but this idea of a training mission, it's a null idea. We have been discussing that even before the war started. So that's the moment to act. That's the moment to take decisions.
Fighting between Iraqi security forces and Shia militia has continued inside the heavily fortified Green Zone in the Iraqi capital Baghdad. Foreigners have been caught up in the street fighting, with Dutch embassy staff forced to move to the German mission. Violence involving militia factions has also been reported in the cities of Basra, Najaf, Nasiriyah and Hilla. Aid is starting to arrive in Pakistan to help tens of millions of people affected by devastating monsoon floods that have badly affected a third of the country. Bridges and roads have been washed away and much of the richest farmland flooded. Hundreds of families are without food or clean drinking water. Pumza Fulani has been speaking to families in Sindh province.
They were already struggling with the economic conditions. Pakistan is facing an economic crisis where food prices have gone up and these floods have laid to ruin whatever plans they...
It's taking skill and a lot of risk to rescue people. Here, a helicopter pilot manages to pull a man stranded on a rock. But more than 1,000 people have already died. Many millions have been displaced, grasping for food, living in makeshift camps. The water has receded in some spots, and Rehan Ali is trying to salvage what he can.
I don't know how to rebuild my destroyed house. Even I don't have anything to feed my family. I lost everything. I don't know where to go. God help me.
The soil can't absorb any more water, and glaciers are melting. The government says it's a man-made climate catastrophe. Others claim developers have also played a part, building hotels that have cut off natural river routes. There is little respite and a lot of need in a country that now resembles an ocean. Cordelia Lynch, Sky News, Bangkok.
President Zelensky has warned Russian soldiers that if they want to survive, they should go home. Ukraine says it's broken through the Russian front line in several places in a new counter-offensive. Our security and defence editor Deborah Haynes has this report.
Apparent signs of Ukraine fighting back. Military sources claim an offensive operation against Russian forces in the south is underway, though details are slim.
Хтось хоче знати, які у нас плани?
Anyone want to know what our plans are? You won't hear specifics from any truly responsible person, because this is war, and this is how it is during the war. But the occupiers should know, we will push them to the border.
The
port city of Kherson would be a key prize. It was captured with ease in the initial days of Russia's war and has been under Russian control ever since. Any move against the occupation will be high risk and will rely heavily on Western weapons. While the start of this operation is an important moment, Ukraine is a vast country, and so is the front line with multiple flashpoints. Even as Ukrainian forces are trying to regain ground in one area, they're coming under pressure in others, including most dangerously around a key nuclear plant in the southeastern region of Zaporizhia. This is the place. It's been under Russian control since March, but clashes in the area have triggered fears of a nuclear disaster on top of the military one. A double nightmare for those living nearby, even as a team of international nuclear inspectors prepares to pay the plant a visit. Alla and her husband have their lives squashed into this boot. Their town sits on the opposite bank of a river to the nuclear plant, but Russian shelling forced the couple to start camping at night in this field about 10 miles away. The strain all too visible.
Вообще это очень страшно. Так страшно. Даже мужчины боятся. Правда. Я первый раз видела, когда мужчины боятся. Это так страшно.
Down the road, another makeshift campsite filled with fear. These two families also come from Mahanets town. They say the Russian attacks have been getting worse over the past few days.
Страшно. Бахкает. Ну что робить?
It's scary, a lot of booms, but we used to already.
Бахкает.
Tetiana's stopped going back into town with her daughter during the day and is working out what to do next. What scares you the most, the war or the potential for a nuclear disaster?
Ну це все погано. Війна погано, гибнуть люди, діти. Тому я не можу обрати. Мені і те страшно.
It's terrible for little Emma too, but her mum's doing all she can to protect her from the trauma. Deborah Haynes, Sky News, Southern Ukraine.
And a short time ago, Deborah sent us this latest update.
Yes, so interestingly this morning, the UK in its regular update on the state of the war has said that they believe that several Ukrainian brigades have intensified their artillery strikes since the beginning of yesterday against Russian positions along the south. This is backed up by long-range precision strikes against Russian supply lines and ammunition depots, all part of this offensive, though the UK is keen to stress that it's not yet possible to confirm the extent of any Ukrainian advances. And it also makes this really interesting point about how since the beginning of this month, when speculation has been rife that Ukraine was planning some kind of counter-offensive to recapture this key region of Kherson, particularly the city that's been under Russian control since the beginning, that since the beginning of the month, Russian forces have been reinforcing themselves around that region, clearly preparing to defend themselves. They say that there's been a merger between two different elements of two different districts on the Russian military side, perhaps an attempt to try to have a better performance than they displayed back in the beginning of this war when they failed so badly in their assault on Kyiv. Clearly, whatever happens next will be decisive to see whether this Ukrainian advance can achieve some success.
Deborah Haynes there. Now, the Metropolitan Police have launched a murder investigation after a 21-year-old man was stabbed to death at the Notting Hill Carnival in London. A number of violent incidents broke out, including several serious stabbings, marring the end of the festival, which was attended by more than 1 million people. The police extended their stop and search powers in the area around Notting Hill last night. The murder investigation is now underway, and police are appealing to carnival goers to come forward with any information.
There were hundreds of people in the immediate vicinity when this incident took place. I would urge anyone who saw anything, who has video footage or who has any other information that could assist officers to come forward. Tonight, our thoughts are with the family of the young man who has lost his life in this senseless attack.
Well, Sky's Saba Chowdhury is in Notting Hill in West London for us. And Saba, as we were saying, it was a great event and enjoyed by many, many people, but it marred at the end by some violence.
Absolutely, with a very sad ending indeed, with now faced with a murder investigation by the Metropolitan Police. The stabbing incident took place just behind me at the Westway Bridge. Officers were called or were informed about the incident at about 8 p.m. last night, and paramedics came to the scene, but it was almost too late. The individual was taken to the hospital, a 21-year-old man, where he was unfortunately pronounced dead. About an hour or so after the incident occurred, the Section 60 warrant was issued, and what this means in practice is that police can essentially stop and search anyone they want without any suspicion. Now, earlier Sky News spoke to an individual from the Metropolitan Police, and this is what she had to say. Okay, apologies, I don't think we have that to hand at the moment, but police are calling for witnesses and are saying, very urgently, if individuals do have any footage of what happened or can provide eyewitness testimony to the incident that occurred, to get in touch as soon as possible.
Saba, thanks very much. A government minister has told Sky News that the Conservative leadership race has gone on too long and has been too disruptive as the cost of living crisis has worsened. Liz Truss and her rival Rishi Sunak have come under increasing pressure to lay out more specific plans to help people. The Country Minister, Matt Warman, says that the energy crunch has become much more acute as the race has gone on.
What they're saying is that they're worried about the uncertainty of what winter is going to look like. And of course, they've seen those headlines about the new cap. I think for me, the most important thing is that we target those who need it most. We target the most vulnerable. That's what you saw in that package that differentiates between some people who have greater needs than others, but acknowledge that everybody needs help.
Joining me now from Westminster is our political correspondent, Mari Aurora. And Mari, mercifully, just a week left of this Conservative leadership campaign. We should have an answer this time next week.
Indeed, Jane. Finally, we'll find out who the next Prime Minister is going to be. Now, interestingly, Matt Warman there, the Tory MP, speaking to Kay Burley this morning on The Breakfast Show, he was basically saying this Tory leadership race is going on too long, it's dragging too long. Now, it's interesting because actually it's not longer than a normal Tory leadership race. What feels like it's dragging on is because of this cost of living crisis. It's the timing of this leadership race that is the problem as far as that Tory MP and many other, I would say, Tory MPs off the record in Westminster feel the same way as well. Because we don't know who the next Prime Minister is going to be, we don't know what policies we're going to end up using to tackle the energy crisis and the potential recession on the horizon as well. Now, some would say potentially Liz Truss feels the same way. She's cancelled that interesting, important BBC interview with Nick Robertson that was supposed to be taking place today. Now that's no longer happening. Liz Truss, obviously, team would say she's too busy, she's campaigning, she's trying to become the next Prime Minister, and that's why. But the Labour Party and Rishi Sunak's team both put out very similar statements, basically trying to say that she's out of ideas and all of her ideas aren't very credible, and therefore that's why she didn't bother to do that BBC interview. Now, the Labour Party are very much trying to capitalise on this blue and blue kind of civil war, Tory infighting, and also they're trying to capitalise on the fact that they see this as a zombie government. Because we don't know who the next Prime Minister is, we don't know therefore what measures are going to be used to tackle it. And Andy Burnham on The Breakfast Show with Kay Burley this morning was talking about how actually both candidates were offering the similar kind of Thatcherism almost with their offerings, and that actually neither of those were going to cut it.
I've listened to the leadership debate in the Tory party this summer, and they've both been promising more Thatcherism. Well, as far as I'm concerned, that is what got us into the mess that we're in right now. When we sold off the water, sold off the electricity, sold off the gas, sold off the council homes, sold off the buses, sold off the trains, we found ourselves in a position where ordinary people can't afford those basics anymore, those essentials. And therefore, change is needed in the way that we provide those essential services. Everybody needs the basics. Everybody needs to be able to afford the basics.
See, his concern there is very much how, regular families are going to make ends meet and how people are going to get through this cost of living crisis in not just the next week, the next month, but the next year, perhaps 2 years, depending on how long the energy crisis ends up going on for. Now, what's interesting is he was talking about potentially nationalising utilities as something that is popular with some Labour voters. It might potentially make Keir Starmer looks slightly weak if it's seen that Andy Burnham is trying to promote the nationalising of utilities when that is not Labour policy. Labour have said they will not do that. So a bit of tension there in terms of the kind of higher ranks of the Labour Party and Labour representatives. But I mean, I was speaking to a lifelong Tory voter in Worcester a few weeks ago for that big Sky debate that we had between Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss, and that lifelong Tory voter told me they wanted nationalisation of utilities, and they were aware it wasn't a Tory policy, but they wanted it nonetheless. And now we've had that new polling coming out from YouGov saying 47% of Tory voters are in favour of nationalising utilities. So the question here is, could we end up seeing the Labour Party begin to maybe U-turn on this if it becomes so popular in the cost of living crisis that they feel they need to do it? Because otherwise we might have a situation where we have a Labour Party who are against nationalising utilities in a time of national crisis where a majority or a very large percentage of the public are in favour of it. That could be a really difficult situation for Keir Starmer, so definitely one to watch.
Mari, thanks very much. Meanwhile, the bosses of 6 of the UK's biggest pub and brewing companies have written an open letter to the government. They warn of mass closures if the industry doesn't get help with energy bills. Our business correspondent Paul Kelso has spoken to one worried pub owner.
We're certainly looking at probably 250 to 300% increase in electric and gas over the next 6 months.
At the Red Lion in Cricklade, the energy bills are going up as the pints slip down.
We're around about £2,000 a month, give or take, for electricity. That's going to go up to about £1,000 a week.
Tenant landlord Darren is among thousands of publicans worried that rising energy costs for his business, suppliers and customers might hasten last orders.
COVID was tough, but I don't think it's going to be anything as tough as what we've got coming. At least during COVID we could still do our takeaways and all that sort of thing, but that's all out of our hands now. It's all down to prices way above us.
6 of the UK's largest pub and brewing companies have written to ministers warning that without help, many of their tenants may be calling time this winter. It comes as new figures show 4 in 10 hospitality businesses say energy prices are their biggest worry, with 2/3 having already been affected by rises and over half absorbing extra costs.
We're desperately calling for action from the government to give us an energy cap for small businesses and to do a long-term plan with hospitality so we can save pubs and brewers at the heart of our communities by making sure they're taking action to give them essential headroom like cutting VAT, business rates and, of course, keeping beer duty low.
The government says energy prices are beyond its control and pubs have benefited from rate relief and duty freezes on beer, cider and wine. But as the sun sets on a vintage beer garden summer, they see little reason for cheer. Paul Kelso, Sky News.
Well, if you scan the QR code on your screen right now, you can listen to this morning's Sky News Daily podcast. Neil Patterson speaks to Ryanair boss Michael O'Leary about the impact of increasing energy costs on air travel over the next couple of years, plus why he thinks the next Prime Minister should worry less about the green agenda as the cost of living continues to rise. You can subscribe to The Daily wherever you get your podcasts. Some of today's other news now, and at least 22 people have been killed after violence broke out in the Iraqi capital, Baghdad, after an influential Shia cleric announced he was stepping away from politics. Muqtada al-Sadr's party won the largest share of seats in October's parliamentary elections, but refused to negotiate with rivals, leading to months of political deadlock. Now, Mr al-Sadr's resignation announcement prompted hundreds of his supporters to storm the government palace. 2 16-year-old boys have died after what's been described as a tragic drowning accident in Londonderry. Emergency services were called to Loch Enach after a number of people got into difficulty in the water yesterday evening. One of the boys was pronounced dead at the scene, while another was taken to hospital but could not be saved. Another male was taken to hospital for treatment to injuries which are not believed to be life-threatening. A big clean-up operation is underway in Edinburgh following 2 weeks of strike action by the city's waste and cleaning services. Huge piles of rubbish have been growing across the Scottish capital, but bin strikes are to continue across Scotland in 20 councils as Unison, Scotland's largest council union, rejected the latest pay offer. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex will travel via England for charity commitments in September, but reports suggest they won't be visiting the Queen. It comes as Meghan told a US magazine that it takes a lot of effort to forgive when asked about her relationship with the royal family. Research out today shows 474 GP surgeries have closed in the UK since 2013, leaving 1.5 million patients having to go elsewhere. GP magazine Pulse says smaller practices have been far more likely to shut down, and those are the ones patients prefer. Police in Liverpool have made more than 30 arrests in the last 24 hours as part of a crackdown on organised crime in the city. It follows the death of 9-year-old Olivia Pratt-Corbell, who was shot inside her family home last Monday. Our North of England correspondent Fraser Maud has the latest from Liverpool.
The number of flowers and soft toys, balloons has been growing constantly over the past week. There are symbols of a unified city there. We've seen flowers from Everton Football Club laid by Ian Snowdon, from Liverpool Football Club laid by Ian Rush, side by side, saying that this is a city united in its bid to clamp down on crime. Sue Johnston, the actress famous for the royal family and for Downton Abbey, came here yesterday to lay flowers, and there are also flowers here at the scene from the family of Joseph Nee. Now, Joseph Nee is the man who was also shot just a week ago last night in Olivia's home. He was the man trying to flee the gunman. Police believe he was the intended target of the gunman, and his family have also laid flowers here, saying, "So sorry for your loss of beautiful Olivia. Rest in peace. Thinking of all your family." From the Nee family. Now, he was taken to hospital and received surgery after the incident for his gunshot wounds. He's since been released, but released to prison for breach of his licence. Also released and in prison on breach of licence, the 36-year-old man who police arrested last Thursday on suspicion of Olivia's murder. Another man, a 33-year-old man, was arrested the following day on Friday. He too has been released, as have people who've been arrested in the investigation on suspicion of the murder of Sam Rimmer, who was killed on the 16th of August. Arrests have also been made in the case of Ashley Dale, who was shot and killed the day before Olivia was shot and killed. That only a mile and a half or so away from here. So the police have made some significant arrests, but as yet no charges have been brought. It's also prompted a clampdown on organised crime in the city over the past week or so. They say they've now arrested over 200 people. They've seized dozens of vehicles, they've seized firearms, they've seized drugs and money. They say that organised crime will have nowhere to hide in the city as they bring in Operation Miller. They're calling it a disruption exercise which is targeting organised crime and violent crime in the city, and the police here say that they have been assisted by forces from across the UK, providing investigation officers, forensic officers and firearms officers to help them clamp down on organised crime. They still think that the answer to the 3 murders that they're investigating in parallel lies somewhere within the community, either in the law-abiding community or in the criminal fraternity here in Liverpool. They are still desperate for people to come forward with information. They say they have had a phenomenal response so far, but they need more. They say that people here in the city should not protect these killers. Silence, the police say, is not an option.
Fraser Moore there. You're watching Sky News. Coming up, the Royal Navy scrambles to fix a propeller fault in Britain's biggest warship ahead of an important training mission.
The final countdown to our new Prime Minister being in place has now begun. On September the 5th, Rishi Sunak or Liz Truss will get the keys to number 10.
The lights on the economy are flashing red.
We can change the outcome.
Full coverage on Sky News.
I'm Adam Parsons. I'm Sky's Europe correspondent based here in Brussels. More flares going off, a volley of rocks, cobbles have been pulled up out and are being used as missiles to hurl at these police. We take you to the heart of stories that shape our world. We aim to be the best and most trusted place for news. We have now left Italy and entered France. Nobody's asked to check our identity. Made by people who dare to challenge. Nice to see you again, Mr. Barnier. Why? Meeting you. Fishing does have the potential to stymie an enormous economic deal. What strikes you when you come to this glacier is not just the way in which the environment is changing, but the speed at which those changes are happening.
It's devastating, actually.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
And the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820, or you can visit our website www.welllamb.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamb@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable and trustworthy.
Check me out.
He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Starr Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
It's your ma. Show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Starr Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for home. For here, we they call them London. And that's how you know.
The best radio show. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Your heart is aching.
Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Hey, this is Archie and you are listening to Starr Radio UK and The Morning Show.
This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK. Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
You are listening to Starr Radio Morning Show.
Welcome.
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio. Starr Radio. Radio for the people, by the people.
That's what makes you great. You hold the world in.
Okay, so let me say massive good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. And all of you on other planets as well. We want to salute each and every one of you and welcome you to the Tuesday edition of the morning show. After a long weekend, we are back here and we're going to be sharing some time with you. I hope that you had a very good weekend and Nigeria didn't happen to you. Well, let me say good morning to the team, Mr. Olayomi, Mr. Francis working behind the scenes, and Mr. Frank Davis working behind the scenes today as well. To all our lovely listeners who over the weekend, I knew that you were waiting to get on. Moses, so Moses, good morning to you. Miss Gold, good morning to you. To the one and only Amaya Jergene all the way in Nigeria, to Anthony Adedeji. Massive good morning to you. And to our listeners in the Americas, those of you in Europe, those of you in Asia, those of you in Australia, those of you on the African continent, especially in Nigeria, Ghana, Uganda, Kenya, South Africa, oh my goodness, and across the globe, of course, I salute each and every one of you. Tosino, good morning, our special envoy in Moscow. Way in the background, What Makes You Great by Edith Morrison, featuring... I'll tell you the feature or the featurist. All right then. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. We are broadcasting live on our own apps and the Starr Radio UK app. If you go to your app store, whether it's Android or iOS, just type in Starr Radio Global and it will pop up. And we are on all the social media platforms. But well, if it's your first time of tuning in on a Tuesday, this is how the program is going to go. Now, I'm going to be bringing you the quote for the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel update as well. Then until we'll bring you what is happening across the globe, and that's Global Trotting. Now, exactly at 11 o'clock, we have Mr. Olayomi who's lining up lots of stories that are going to be coming your way from Nigeria as well. And then we'll go from there. Exactement. At 12 o'clock, the lines are open for you to add your voice to the discussions wherever you might be. And this afternoon, a big one is going to happen. That is the BB Means Business by BB Clement. Well, she's got a special guest. And I'm going to talk to you about that during the course of the program. You want to get your foot on the property ladder. It's that you don't have the money. Well. Today, she's going to bring in a special guests who are going to do that. So, Bimbola, let me say good morning to you. And Osineji, I hope I pronounce it well. Yeah, they're going to be the guests of BB Clement this afternoon. So make sure you make a date with her at 1:30. So that means that the program finishes exactly at 12:30, so that the necessary preparation and all protocol will be done, so that we can bring you the live feed. So in like this, that's what's going to be going on. So once again, welcome on board. 10:42. Now the code for the day says true success is from within and not from without. True success is from within and not from without. The 30th day of August 2022, 10:42 the time.
One who took my pain, took away my shame.
Well, interestingly, those of us who are in London, the England area, well, I think we had a nice weekend, didn't we? The weather wasn't that bad. I think I enjoyed it. It wasn't too sunny. It wasn't too cold. So you could do all your stuff outside, all the work that you have to do. But well, today there will be a mixture of patchy clouds, spells of sunshine, and a few scattered showers towards the evening. Showers will begin to ease away, turning dry for most. Tonight, any showers will fade and cloud will clear away. By the early hours, skies will be largely cloudless, and it should remain dry for the rest of the night. Top temperature 24 degrees, otherwise it's going to be 13 degrees. Pollen level is going to be low, UV level is going to be moderate, pollution is going to be low. Sunset 1952, and sunrise for tomorrow morning 0609 hours. And that brings us to the end of the weather forecast. It is All Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's take a quick commercial break and I'll bring you the travel update. Stay tuned, don't you go away.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
This is Radio UK.
Okay, so welcome back to the program Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Keep your eyes on the roads, so keeping updated. I promise I'm on the Starr Radio travel update that comes to every weekday from 10:40. It's now 10:45 or almost 10:45. And what do we have on your travels? Well, share with us what is happening on your travels, and I promise you will share with our worldwide listeners. For those of you in London, yes, on the underground, minor delays on the second line due to train cancellations on the Piccadilly line as well. There are severe delays there. And that is between Crockfoster and King's Cross in Pancras. That is due to a faulty train. Tickets have been accepted on London buses and Great Northern good service on the rest of the line. On the other side, on the London Tram Link, as we've been announcing until tomorrow, the 31st of August, no service between Wimbledon and Therapia Lane. Replacement buses are operating between Wimbledon and Warden Marsh. But keep your eyes on the roads. Let aside all the other underground services are in good service. DLR good service, London Overground good service there as well. I'm moving on straight to the major roads in London. A10 has got closures, A4 closures, A40 closures, A41 closures, Central London Red Routes closures, South Circular A205 closures there as well. Put aside all the others, no exceptional delays. If you can avoid them, do your best to avoid them. But if you are stuck in there, get in touch, or continue to stay tuned, and we will make sure that you know any updates that are available. But keep your eyes on the roads. I'm moving on straight to the riverbank this morning. The Woolwich Ferry has got reduced service. That aside, all the others have got good service, as you know. Now, on the National Rail, that is the final segment of our travel updates. Now, we got Avanti West Coast has got reduced service, and then we have disruption between London and King's Cross and Stevenage on the Great Northern. Great Anglia has also got minor delays on some routes. We have also Southwestern Railway, which has also got minor delays on some routes as well, and Thameslink has got minor delays on some routes as well. And finally, last but one, but not the least, now Transport for Wales has got disruption between Cardiff, Queen Street and Radier. The final one is the West Midlands Railway that's got minor delays on some routes. So check before you leave. However, if you're stuck in there, continue to listen to us because we're monitoring everything live, and as and when there are any changes, we promise to bring to the fore. And you can share what is happening on your travels wherever you might be. Let me take the opportunity to say good morning to Mr. Dramani Mahama. Not the former president, the former president's brother, Malik. I hope you are doing well. Dr. Martin, good morning to you. Mr. David Klucher, good morning to you. And to my own brother, Felix, all the way in Aberdeen, good morning to you all. Okay, so on that note, let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet. Enjoy your commute for today, but you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the roads.
Everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur, and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Welcome back to the program Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 10:50. That means it's now time for Global Trotting. So let's do it. Now, when it comes to Nigeria, some of the questions, the stories I'm going to be looking at there. The ASU are saying that, well, they have declared indefinite strike and plans increase media engagement. Now, 6 of 10 doctors living in Nigeria not laments, and then court stops Kyrie U.S. extradition. Federal government reviews judgment. We'll be looking into that. So it looks like Abba Kaira is not going anywhere for the time being. But okay, well, and then ASU is going on once again saying Buhari's regime is deceitful for 5 years, declares total indefinite strike, and the 25,000 people, including 40,000 children, disappeared in Nigeria. That's what the Red Cross is saying. Disappeared to where? Okay. And then some other stories. South residents tell Buhari's bandit terrorists deserves death, not amnesty. Okay, we know that the government is trying to see whether to integrate those who are they are said to be have been repentant terrorists and bandits back into communities. But well, the South residents are saying that look, enough is enough. We don't want to call them repentant whatever. We see them as terrorists who deserve death, not amnesty. What do you think about that? Is it all one word that does it, or Jojo? Maybe at times you reason with them. As they were saying the other time, there's one bandit who has been arrested. Who has now convicted and is now helping the authorities to fight those who are practicing banditry or terrorism and all that stuff. We'll bring you more on that front. And the curious story of Nigeria's passport shortage. When they talk about that, government makes money. It's not like government doesn't make profit from the issuing of passports. So is it that we don't like money? Or when money is coming and the state will get it, we don't like that? If it's making money while we are crying, why don't we get the people to get it? Or get the systems in place for people to have it when they need it? Well, it's not only peculiar to Nigeria. When it comes to Ghana and all that stuff, they're all doing their own thing. But well, you want no more? Stay tuned, don't you go away. 11 o'clock exactly, Mr. Olayomi will be joining us to bring you updates from Nigeria. Now, let's move on straight. Well, to other part of the world, in Ghana, Ghanaian thinks the judiciary holds no value now. That's what the former president is saying. And it goes on further to say, another story, 17.4 billion Ghana cedis in financial irregularities recorded in 2021 Auditor General. Whoops! Can they account for it? What has it been used for? Wow. 17.4 billion. All right then. We'll be looking more into that. Who are the corporates there? And 485 million Ghana cedis paid as COLA to public sector workers. That's what CAGD is saying. Controller and Accountant General's Department are saying. Well, if you look at the inflation rates and everything, that is like a drop in the ocean. Do you think people can lead their lives, or do you think that means the government is doing well? Now, LaBianca's case may die with Ken Damwell's exit. Vitals, Azim is saying. And then review decision to abolish GCR system. Akatsi North MP to KNUST management. Judicial Service auctioned 19 vehicles to judges without approval. Attorney General is saying. Apologies. Accountant General's report has captured that as well. So we'll be bringing you more on that front. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, MPLA victories divides opinion in Rwanda. Okay, and then re-elected Angolan President Joao Lourenço vows to press ahead with reforms. And the Raila Odinga, I will respect Supreme Court ruling on pool petition. Well, let's see what happens. Well, so we'll be following that very, very closely. Now, when it comes to other parts of the world as well, now, Ukraine says it has broken Russia lines in Kherson. Now, Russia is reorganizing its forces around Kherson. The UK's Ministry of Defense says as Ukraine tries to retake the southern regions, Europe. I think they're going to make Russia now unleash its venom, full venom. I don't know where all this war is going to. I don't know how it's going to end. I don't know what is going to be the situation. But whatever it is, continue. I would love to have your take on sad things as well. And then deadly violence rocks Baghdad after Sadr quakes. At least 23 people are killed in Muqtada. Sadr supporters clash with security forces and rival militias. Why did Sadr decide to step down? We'll be looking more into that. Husband in podcast famous case guilty of murder, Chris Dawson faced trial in Australia over 1982 disappearance of his wife Lioness. And the Indian tycoon Ambani launches $25 billion 5G plan. Those are some of the stories making the rounds there. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Yes, in the UK. Now, a man, 21, was stabbed to death at the Notting Hill Carnival yesterday, and up to about 200 people were also arrested. Some stabs and other drug peddling and all that took place there. My apologies. Now, pubs face closure due to soaring energy bills. One pub landlord told some news, the media houses. Now, it says energy bills had surged from 13,000 to 35,000, more than what 100% increment. Okay. And then Chancellor flies to US for cost of living talks. Now, Labour has criticized Nadeem Zahawi's trip, calling it another junket at the taxpayers' expense. Well, two teenage boys drowned in laugh tragedy. Then 16-year-old got into difficulty in Laugh in Londonderry on Monday night. A sad one there, but this has all come your way from Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's take a musical break, and once we come back, we'll bring you Mr. Olayomi Koiki, who'll be telling you more about what happened over the weekend and what is happening in Nigeria currently. Stay tuned.
Everybody like this, come on. The God of heaven, let the earth together sing the praise. We will rise above heavens, and with one voice we sing our
This is Starr Radio UK.
In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
together sing the praise.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Archie on Starr Nova.
God of heaven, let the earth together sing your praise. Together sing your praise. We will rise and with one voice sing our praise to you. Sing, come here. God of heaven, let the earth together sing your praise. We will rise above the heavens. One more time. Count the earth, God of heaven, let the earth together sing your praise forever. We will rise and with one voice we're going on. Everybody. God of heaven, let the earth together sing your praise. We will rise upon the heavens, sing our praise.
And let me say good morning to Chris. More morning. I hope you're doing very, very well.
Every tongue, every people, let America sing with one voice. Let Ontario sing with one voice.
is CCBedu and the Crafted Nation bringing you KBOC. I hope that you enjoy that tune wherever you might be. But let's take a quick commercial break and we'll be bringing you Mr. Olayomi Koiki in a moment. So stay tuned. Don't you go away.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clemens, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Vedasse.
Okay, welcome back to the program. Yes, as I did say earlier on, this afternoon exactly at 1:30 we'll be having BB Clement on BB Means Business, and she'll be looking at fractional property investment and how you can develop different income streams investing in the Spanish property market with very little money. So you got some money, you don't know where to invest. Wow. The Spanish property market is booming, and we'll be having BB Clement with her guests, Sandra and Bimbo Osage, who will be joining us on that program. So make a date this afternoon, exactly more at 1:30. But it's now 6 minutes past 11, and it is the Tuesday edition of the morning show. You know, because this is the first, my first day back, first day back from the weekend. So I'm thinking that it is Monday. It's not Monday. It is Tuesday. So wherever you are, just stay tuned. Don't you go away at all. But let me say good morning to Believe Yourself channel. It's a good morning, guys. God will bless me and bless you all. Of course, God bless us all. And Miss Gold, a good day, Mr. Archie. And we are waiting for the white lion to come and tell us about the contraction they call country. Well. I hope every one of you in UAE are doing very well as well, and we welcome you all to the greatest show. Somebody say the greatest show on earth, but whatever it is, well, welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. As I said earlier on, well, the courts have decided that Abba Kaira, the Supreme Court in the federal capital, has ruled that he cannot be someone say posted or sent to the US, extradited to the US. So we'll be waiting to hear more when Mr. Olayomi Koiki came. Asu says that well, you guys, you know what? This is the time. We're not going. We're not budging. That strike has become indefinite, and I think in 5 years on with the government, the federal government, well, they don't seem to have any headway, and it's still stalemate. And so who suffers? Some people have been saying, or as the saying goes, when two elephants fight, it's the grass that suffers. So it's the young man, the young woman, the young lady who are supposed to be in uni getting themselves ready to face life, who have now got stuck. Where did they go? How far can they go? But well, you want to know more, You don't have to the dial at all, because we have the White Lion himself who is joining in. And once he's ready, I'm just putting him on. We're waiting for his image, and then he will be live on as well. But interestingly, we have the South who are saying that, look, the South residents are telling Buhari bandits that bandits, terrorists deserve death, not amnesty. Now, what do you think about that? Because it looks like Georgia is not making it, so they think that War is not making it, so they think that the best bet is to maybe Georgia. But what do you think? What the South are envisaging? But it's now my singular honor to say massive good morning to the White Lion himself. Yomi, massive good morning to you. How are you doing?
Very good morning to you, Mr. Archie. Good morning, good afternoon to all our listeners and viewers from around the globe. I'm doing actually very well. It's been a 72 hours marathon, but I can assure you that yesterday we had a very sound sleep, and it's good to be back. Even after we had that short break yesterday on the studio, but we were still busy, but it's good to be back. And I say good morning to the rest of the team that are working behind.
Yes, good morning and welcome back as well. But a quick one, over the weekend we know that there were some few activities that had to go on. A few of the images or the messages that I saw, the stories that I saw on the Facebook platform and other social media platforms as well. Now, how did all the rallies and the few things go from there before we come to what is currently happening?
Well, let's take you to Yoruba land or Nigeria, Southwest, where a lot of activities, as we all know, campaigning and asking for a Yoruba self-determination is not a crime on the international level. We won't be the only country, and I can assure a lot of people we're not going to be the last country, to want an out of a country. So that literally means that the only way we can do that is has to be a very peaceful way, the international. And I was actually just reading about a particular one of our group that is leading the Yoruba self-determination, which is known as YSDM. I was actually reading what they stand for, and if you permit me, before we talk about some of those activities that happen on the ground, this is what they stand for. The aims and objectives. The aim of the Yoruba self-determination movement is to achieve a sovereignty for the Yoruba nation. The objectives of the organization shall be as follows, but not limited to proactively engage the Nigerian state using available instruments provided by the international law and legislation. Engage the international communities through diplomacy, share beliefs and common interests. Facilitate trust, respect, honesty, and open relations between Yoruba self-determination groups. Work towards the common goal of independent Yoruba land, and also accelerate the process of Yoruba self-determination. While member of organizations shall enjoy autonomy in their individual self-determination activities, to avoid uncoordinated efforts which may frustrate the YSDM objective, waste resources by duplicating efforts on internet. So what they've actually said there is the same thing that we are doing. People had a peaceful rally, in two Yoruba land, in Ilaro, in Ogun State, southwest of Nigeria. There was another one that was going on simultaneously in Ibadan, southwest of Nigeria as well. Even in the midst of the very heavy downpour in those two states, the rally went ahead without any glitch, without any disruption, apart from Yoruba singing, Yoruba talking to the people that are Yoruba, and the reason why they need to come out of Nigeria as well. And that was actually what happened right on Saturday. Let's bring you back to London. There was a Nigerian carnival, in Dustin, that was organized by a very brother of ours, Wale Amodemaja. Is an event that was held for the very first time, just as we have a lot of different countries in the UK that host different events within their community. And that event was a very successful outing. It was not just a Nigerian carnival, it also entails the other ethnic groups that wants to come out of Nigeria. And this is why we say we live in a civilized society. Asking to break away from Nigeria does not mean a war. Asking to break away from Nigeria does not literally mean that when we meet with those that still believe in Nigeria, we need to start punching blow among each other. In that event, there were people that believe in Nigeria. We had the Biafra that were there at present. Not only present, they were there with their masquerade, they were there with their dancing, cultural, and everything you can think of. and the Yoruba was well represented by the Ilana UK, which the leader, Dr. Bashegun. Remember, Dr. Bashegun has spoken to us on the Star Radio UK before. He was also there as well. He spoke eloquently, took us back to the history, and like I said, it was the food, the ambience, and we also had the other culture that was there. And just to complete it, the Notting Hill Carnival could not have been done without the Yoruba that were there as well, just as so many people that believe in Nigeria as well as we speak today. We got to the Nigerian point because I was there and there was a lot of crowd. We couldn't go into the Nigerian corner so that we don't have this situation where it becomes where those that still believe in Tinubu, Obi, and Atiku that are already in that venue will probably then engage us, and it becomes a different entirely. So we stood outside, but to be rest assured, everyone that were passing by recognized the flag, recognized everything, and it was a very successful outing. And on Saturday, we were also represented well at the Lagos State Union that took place. So you can see it was a complete packed event over the weekend.
Wow, a packed one. Before I come, there's one question that I want to ask there, but before I come to that, let me acknowledge a few people. Adegbola Adetayo, good morning to you. Thank you very much. And Adedayo Adeshola, good morning, Mr. Koyeki, sir. God bless you and your family. Adedayo continues, good morning, Mr. Archie, and God bless you, sir. God bless you too, and we thank you very much for each and every one of you who join us daily, religiously, making sure that these programs go on. We really appreciate those of you on the Facebook, the various Facebook platform. We want to salute each and every one of you. Now, Yomi, let's come straight to the new group that is sprung up in the Southwest. Yeah, we were also, saying that they want to use diplomatic means to get the Yoruba group, nation, or the Yoruba people out of Nigeria and stuff like that. Do you think it's a splinter group, and that means divided front?
South is different from Southwest.
Okay.
So we have the South that is just in between. We have the Southwest, we have the Southeast, and we have the South.
Okay.
The South resident, I think, is the headline, tells Buhari that the terrorists, the bandits, deserve death and not amnesty. Responding to the South, have condemned Mr. Buhari's amnesty to the bandits and terrorists, saying that they deserve death. According to what we have, the South resident believe pardoning the terrorists question the nation's sincerity in fighting insurgency and other crimes. They also say that the consequence of pardoning them would determine to the nation's general well-being and the people. According to Oyibio Okon, a lawyer in Uyo, which is part of the South, for call for severe punishment for terrorists in the regime custody as a deterrent to others. The lawyer noted that there were certain offenses in which the regime had prerogative power under the constitution to pardon the perpetrator, but in the case of the banditry and terrorism, morality should be considered. So the South is a complete different from the Southwest.
Okay, fine for that clearance there. Now let's talk about the this story that the South people brought about. Saying that look, they don't need to be pardoned, they don't need no amnesty, they just need to be dealt with as criminals. Okay, now. But have we seen any integration of these people in the South? Have you seen any integration of them, or it's in the North that they are doing that?
Well, let's talk about what part of Nigeria do we classify as South? You talk about Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, and Cross River, and they have just their own different language. It shows how Nigeria is so divided. When you also talk about the river, you talk about the Delta, and a bit of Edo as well. Even though the Edo, some believe that they are part of the Yoruba as well. But as we speak today, there's a lot of some of them that also believe that the country needs to be disintegrated. But there's still a lot of people that believe that Nigeria can still be one, and that means literally that will continue. Based on the upcoming election that will be giving you, how many days from today on Star Radio UK, as we do check, the timeline to the election come 2023. That's if election will hold.
Okay, listeners, it is Star Radio UK. We'll be telling you, we'll give you that number of days that is left for that election, whether it's going to hold or not. But let me say good morning to Gold Olasunkami. He said, good morning, Mr. Archie. God bless you, and God bless you too. May Nigeria not happen to you, as we say on this platform. All right, then. Now let's come to some of the stories that is making the round. ASU are now, they seem to be declaring an indefinite strike. Virtually the stalemate, and they are saying that government in the past 5 years, government has not been truthful with their words, and therefore that's why they've taken that stand that this time around they're not going to budge. So what exactly is happening there?
Well, remember that as we were going away for the weekend, we had like almost 3 days continuously discussing the issue with ASU and the current engagement with them and the federal government. But it looks like the meeting that was held by ASU over the weekend on Sunday has now mean literally that ASU will not be returning back. The lecturers will not be returning back at any time. ASU have now declared an indefinite strike. Plans increased media engagement. I'm not sure what I mean by increased media engagement, because we've been sitting here. I'm talking about some of our students back home since February 14. When was the last time they returned to school? The Academic Staff Union of the University has now declared that a total and indefinite strike is not just about a couple of days or weeks. The decision was taken, remember, at the meeting of the Union National Executive that was held on Sunday in Abuja. The strike is in the protest against the government failure to release revitalization funds for the university, failure to release white paper report of the visitation panel to university, failure to deploy the university transparency accountability system for the payment of salaries and allowance of the lecturers. According to the union president, Professor Emmanuel Osudeke, disclosed the outcome of the next meeting in a statement that was on Monday titled ASU strike to save public university.
Okay.
And we have 164 days, 13 hours, 39 minutes, 47 seconds before the 2023 election that might hold or might not hold, based on what Nigerians will really want, or the indigenous people.
What does Nigeria really want? Do they really want to have an election? Well. Let us know your take on that. Otto Gil Peter says, good morning, everyone. May Nigeria not happen to us, or and may Nigeria not happen to you too, All right then, it is Star Radio UK, 11:20 the time, the Tuesday edition of the morning show with Mr. Olayomi Koiki in the North Studios, and I'm Archie here in the South Studios, and we are bringing you updates from Nigeria. So now let's move on straight to some other stories making the rounds in Nigeria. The ICRC says the latest figures for displaced persons across Africa is 64,000 cases, with Nigeria recording over 25,000 missing people. And that's scary. Missing people, where? The question is, where are they? Have they been kidnapped? Have they been transported or taken out of the country? Where are these people? How are they accounting for them?
Well, when you look at missing person in Nigeria, when you say missing, are they still in Nigeria, or are they been moved out of Nigeria? We do know of cases of child trafficking, and I think the British government worked tirelessly to make sure that those that were trafficking to UK at some point were stopped. And that means if you're traveling with a minor to the UK, you will definitely go through a lot of rigorous questioning to know. You can get away with it because Nigeria is so fraudulent that you can tip off anybody at the airport and you can move with anything. And I'm not joking. We've seen that happen, continuously because of the way the system is. And this is some of the reason why the Yorubas are saying that we cannot continue to allow influx of people coming in and out, bringing in all kind of different things, whether through the borderline or the water sea. But what we are hearing this morning is 25,000 people, including 14,000 children, have disappeared in Nigeria. It's not just in one particular location, because we've got to be honest that there's a lot of atrocity that is happening across Nigeria. People are said. I think on Friday, if I'm right, we were discussing about a young girl from southwest of Nigeria, I believe in Abeokuta, that the husband got a house for, and eventually she sold the baby up for 600,000 naira, and I think we worked it out about less than 800 pounds.
Yeah.
According to the ICRC, it says the latest figure of the disappeared persons across Africa is about 64,000 cases, well, with Nigeria is recording about 25,000 of that. And how, is a question. This statement was known, by Mr. Ekpe Esther, is the spokeswoman for the Nigerian Red Cross in Abuja. Miss Bunzo said that the 25,000 people missing in Nigeria and the 14,000, there are about 35 active armed conflict in Africa. We know about the Boko Haram in Nigeria, the ISIS, and all other different terrorists, and they've been using the children as some of their main way of moving around in Nigeria, and also for the kind of atrocity that they're also committing. He also added that thousands of the people, including children, are also crossing the border, the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, in search of safety and a better life.
Well, as you said, some are being used as human shield by all these terrorists who have captured them. But we hope that they are found, or they. But let me ask you a quick question there. Now, the camps that have been created, whether it's the UN that created it or displaced people in Nigeria, especially in the north, how are they catered for? And are they actually being catered for, or have they been left to cater for themselves? I mean, once you've gotten out of your community, they just leave you in some tent somewhere and then they just get on. What has gone on there?
Well, when you look at the situation when it comes to catering, remember that we talked about $12 billion that the United Nations Humanitarian Agency says that they need to, for the acute poverty in the Northeast. So what actually we've seen is that, the governors do not have the money, because most of the governors are also relying on the federal government, for their internal revenue, because most of them are not producing anything, and they have a lot of, money that they're paying out when it comes to vehicles, the different position that they've allocated to some of their cronies after the election. So they are actually spending a lot of money. If a governor is moving out, they're moving with about almost 40 different vehicles, and you can wonder why a governor has to do so in the midst of not bringing a lot of revenue. Apart from some state like Rivers State that has the crude oil, Lagos State that has the seaport and bringing a lot of internal generated revenue. But when you talk about some other state, they are as not working at all. So that means that they have to now rely on the World Bank, the international community, to continue to pump the money in. But sometimes when the money gets into those particular region, it does not get to the right people. So the money has always come from the international donor or the international community to continue to help the internal displaced persons in that particular region.
Well, listeners, if you have any story pertaining to that, any information, feel free to share it, and then we will actually acknowledge you as well. But it is Starr Radio UK, the Tuesday edition of the morning show. Mr. Olayomi in North London studios, and I'm Archie here in the South studios. Now let's come to the once famous police officer, police chief Abba Kyari. Now, what has happened to him? I thought about this time he's been extradited to the US to face the full rigors, but apparently he's enjoying his prison time in Nigeria, whatever it might be. Maybe some nice hotel. They said that is a prison for him. What is happening there?
Well, if you remember that after the prison break at Kuje prison, there was a bit of rumor that he was nowhere to be found. I mean, even though we've been able to confirm that he's still there, maybe he decided not to run away because he thought he had a case that he can defend. But the headline that has come out, in the last couple of days, courts have now stopped, Abba Kyari's U.S. extradition, and it seems the federal government will now have to review the judgment. What do we know? And according to Justice Inyang Akwa of the Federal High Court in Abuja, has dismissed a suit filed by the federal government seeking to extradite the suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police Abba Kyari to the United States of America. Delivering the judgment yesterday, Justice Akwa held that the extradition request filed by the Attorney General of the Federation lacked merit and was liable to dismissal. This is just as the federal government said it will now study the judgment and take a decision at the appropriate time.
Well, so do they mean to say that the federal government was of the view that Abakari was guilty, and that's why, or with the information that they had, was said that he needs to stand a trial in the US? That's why they wanted to extradite him, and now that they think that this time around the Supreme Court that has ruled that he shouldn't be, what is going to be the reaction of the US pertaining to their relationship with Nigeria?
Well, I mean, the federal government has, filed the extradition charges against Abba Kyari to pave the way for his extradition to the U.S. to answer fraud allegation. But Justice Ekwa, however, held that the government had no basis to file the extradition request, having put Kyari on a trial in Nigeria in relation to the allegation against him in the U.S. The judge held that the federal government request for that extradition was strange, incompetent, and bereft of merit. Malami, being the chief law officer of the country, ought to be aware that the Extradition Act forbid the surrendering of a defendant that is already facing a trial before a competent court in the country, according to the judge. Remember that he's currently facing a different court case, in Nigeria. Mm-hmm. So, from what the judge is saying, that you cannot, according to the law of Nigeria right now, that somebody that is in questioning must also be extradited to another country as requested by the American government to bring back Abba Kyari for fraud related link in with Hush Puppy that is currently in the custody of the U.S. as we speak right now.
So that means that he has to the case in Nigeria has to be completed before, if the extradition has to take place, it takes place. Is that what they're trying to say there?
Oh yes, I believe it can be reviewed, and that's why the federal government said they might have to review that. I mean, in terms of bringing this case forward, I mean, you will expect that there must be a judgment on the current case, but maybe there's a leeway that the federal government thought, to save time with this case in Nigeria, we must well push him to the U.S. and let him go and face his extradition case in America. But I mean, as much as Nigeria is still a sovereign country, and there's still a law, even though we believe that those laws favor only a particular set of people, because when you look at the allegation against Abba Kyari presently, it's got to do with drug that was imported into the country through Ethiopia, and that's the reason why he's still fighting to clear his name, even though America also said, look, we would like to talk to him based on another fraudulent case that is going on in America with a celebrity, an Instagram celebrity that was picked up in Dubai, flaunting money and living lifestyle. But only now that we realize that he's been stealing money that doesn't belong to him. I'm talking about Hush Puppy.
Well. Stories? You want to know more? Just stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Is it Bishop Additional Adeyemo? Okay. Or Additional Adeyemo, whichever. We appreciate you and thank you very much. It's a Koiki, well done there. Okay, I know that lots of you have on the other platform have been sharing your take. I will do our best to see whether we can bring them or we acknowledge you on that front. But let's go to Yomi for the rest of the stories. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, and I'd like to also appreciate a very big auntie that is watching us here from UK. She's a princess, but I'll probably keep her name like that. She's on Instagram. She's been in broadcasting for a very long time, and we always respect some of our big auntie that have been in the media for a very long time. Good morning and welcome to Starr Radio UK. So let's go into the headline. 6 out of 10 doctors are leaving Nigeria. There's no doubt that it might continue like that, because the reason why most of these doctors are leaving is doctors and people in the medical line. The job is to save the patient, and but as you can imagine, I mean, I was speaking to somebody on my way to the Notting Hill Carnival yesterday, and she said, I would love to come, but we are the front line. And I said, no, we don't even want you to come, because there will be all kind of things that would happen at the carnival. And I'm sure you probably have seen a video where people were on the bus terminal, and that eventually crashed. and was a bit of a fatal injury. So you definitely need the frontline staff to be there to save when they get them to the hospital. So the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors has said that 6 out of the 10 doctors in the country plan to leave the country for a greener pasture. This is just as they disclose that there are only 12,297 resident doctors both in the federal and the state tertiary health institution in the country. You'll expect that more of them should be ready to go into that sector, but if someone that finished as a nursing is now working as a POS. POS is where you can go to the corner shop and then you can give them your card or transfer money and then you can collect cash. So literally, instead of the ATM, POS is very much available across Nigeria today. So that headline says 6 out of 10 doctors are leaving Nigeria, according to that headline. Let's go straight and talk about more other story. Soldiers have nabbed 3 terrorists and killed 1 in Kaduna. Kaduna is a very hot spot presently when it comes to the insurgency that is taking place as we speak right now. But it looks like a very good one for the Nigerian Army on Tuesday, according to the general officer commanding of Division 1, alongside a team of operational commanders, arrested 3 terrorists, killed 1 during a fighting patrol in Kaduna. Kaduna, if you look at the length from Abuja to Kaduna, is a very, very important road network, but it has always been a devil point for a lot of Nigerians because you're likely to be kidnapped, and it seems that the government is not doing enough. The statement, according to the spokesman for the army, Brigadier General Onyeme, says 18 motorcycle, which is a kind of operation logistics that these terrorists are using, to move around quickly because of the terrain and because of the bad roads in Nigeria. And arms and ammunition were also recovered. So a very good one to the Nigerian Army, right there. Now let's take you back to some of the other airlines coming out of Nigeria this morning. If you're watching Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Buhari regime reminds Nigerian students from Ukraine to transfer to the federal government-owned university. Imagine
ASU on strike.
ASU is on strike, and just on Sunday they've come out to say it's going to be an indefinite one, but that doesn't concern the federal government because all interested students are by this advertisement requested to do so within 3 weeks from the date of publication, according to the statement by the educational minister. Remember that we have a lot of Nigerians that are living in Ukraine, and this takes us to people like us that believe that Nigeria needs to be divided as quickly as possible. When you look at Ukraine came out of the Soviet Union in 1991. That's about 31 years ago. If Nigerians are now running to Ukraine, so that they can have a better medical, study, and that they can become well equipped and well trained, and they can work in any part of the world. UCH Ibadan was a place that was a shining star for the Yorubas in the western region. But today, according to the caller that I spoke to on Saturday while we were at the Lagos UK Island 30th anniversary, that was very beautiful outing, one of our father that have returned back to America says he just left Nigeria and medical equipment had to be borrowed so that they can use it at the University College Ibadan, which was a shining star during the western region of the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo. And the question is, why should we remain in a country like Nigeria that cannot take care of everyone? But the Nigerian government is now saying, for those of you that could not finish up at the university in Ukraine, we can now allow you to transfer to the local university that is currently on indefinite strike. So that headline says again, Buhari regime reminds Nigerian students from Ukraine to transfer to the federal government-owned university, but they didn't tell them that the university is now currently on indefinite strike. We take one more. Peter Obi is still moving around. He's in US. He had an interview yesterday, I believe, on Sunday. I've not listened to it, but it seems he's still trying to hold the diaspora, because the diaspora are needed when it comes to support of any government. Just as Buhari told lies to so many diaspora here in UK, that I witnessed, because a lot of them are bitterly angry that this is not what they expected of him when it came to campaign, as somebody that doesn't have any money in his bank account, his children, eventually, his children finished in university in the UK, but Peter Obi is also doing the same thing, just as Atiku and Tinubu as well. Peter Obi travels to U.S. for town hall meetings with Nigerians. Remember that the diaspora are sending about $30 billion back home. Nigerians in the U.S. are to host Peter Obi, the Labour Party presidential candidate for the 2023 general elections in 5 United States. The Nigerians in the U.S. are to host him, and according to Peter Obi, announced his engagement with Nigerians in the U.S. in a video that was posted on the social media starting from August 31st to September 3rd. I am a guest speaker on the role of Nigerian diaspora in development and growth of Nigeria. But the question for those of us that believe that Nigeria should wind down is how do you want to unite myself in a country that was created by the British in 1914, and we are not Nigerians. I did engage a lot of the youth during the carnival yesterday, and as much as a lot of them are proud to put on the Nigerian outfit, but some of them do not understand who they really are, because like I told one of them, I said the Yoruba has been in existence for thousands of years as against 108 years of the amalgamation of Nigeria. He was shocked. And I did advise him to watch Bigger Than Africa or the journey of the African colony, and they will understand a little bit more. And like I said, the outing at the carnival also showcased that we are not just the only Yorubas that are out there. We've got to a particular stand. They were Cuba. You would thought you were in a Yoruba land. From the outfit, from the way they were speaking, it shows that the Yoruba people, like we always say, is just one particular people that should never have been put to Nigeria, just as the late Abubakar said that the 1914 is the mistake of the 1914. The 1914 amalgamation is the same mistake of the 1914.
Wow, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Mr. Olayomi Koiki bringing us all that information pertaining to what you need to know about Nigeria. But interestingly, whilst on the final story, I was listening and I was thinking there's a need for the creation of awareness. There's a need for the creation of awareness or consciousness, so that people know exactly where or what is being said. And that's why we have on Wednesdays the program Niger Voices, where it's dedicated to Nigeria, looking and focusing at things there, educating, informing, and name it, so that you know exactly where you're coming. Because if you don't know where you are coming from, you wouldn't know where you are going to, and even when you arrive, you wouldn't know whether you've arrived or not. All right then. Let me say good morning to Godson Emmy. Thank you very much there as well. See Simone. He said, okay, yes, we've answered that. Today, Equator as well. Arabala Detayo says Nigeria government has failed us. We all that we want is Yoruba nation fast. And okay, Miss God is also welcoming Odua today. Simone. Okay, yes, Pastor David, Pastor Peterson, Reverend Peterson is he has now got another engagement, so it's tying, and that's why he's not been able to do any broadcast at the moment. But if you check on his YouTube or social media platform, you might get him there. Okay. Now, before we run up the conversation, there was one other story that was very, very, very important, and let me see whether I can get that, and that is passports. Now, the other time, one of our listeners or viewers did say that, well, when he was asked the question, what name do you want for your passport, he said no, they said cannot put Nigeria there. He said, why you want Yoruba nation? But we know that issuing passport is a means that government makes money on. So I don't actually get it. I don't get it. It's not like government is dishing it out for free. No, whatever, they make profit on that. So the curious story of Nigeria passport shortage, the state sanctioned racketeering, ethnic nepotism, and complete failure of due diligence. Now, how difficult has it been for people getting their passport, and do you experience this nepotism, ethnic, everything that is being said there?
Well, David Odoye, like we've talked about him. He's a journalist, investigative one as well. He's done a lot of different articles and different things. And yes, the latest one, it reminded us, this article was last year, but it's just to remind us that the curious story of Nigerian passport shortage, state-sanctioned racketeering, ethnic nepotism, a complete failure of due diligence on how an indicted cocaine trafficker has come to control the supply of passports to Nigerians, is that headline. And not just to, because it's quite a lot in there. With these words on March 31st, former Controller General of the Nigerian Immigration Services, Muhammad Bambandi, verbally signed a check that the NIS will subsequently fail to cash. Through the course of his tenure as a Control General, Nigerians had become used to chronic passport booklet shortage and the associated black market, but the shortage had become acute by 2021. He needed to make a statement to affirm his competence. Speaking as the commissioner to the Maitama Passport Express Center itself, a masterclass in formalized black market, Bambadi made that a statement, and then some, especially so just to bring it down. I mean, you will expect that a government wants to make money, and the money you can make from the passport is one of the quick money that because everybody needs a passport. You need a passport whether you're traveling to Nigeria or not. Some people have not been to Nigeria, for almost 30 years, but some might probably need a Nigerian passport, maybe just maybe to move around or for a kind of identification. But from Oman to to Iraq, to UAE, Dubai, to Nigerians at home, passport process has become a worst case scenario that the federal government have failed.
I don't get it, I don't get it. I don't know why they make it so complex. And where this part of the world, you want to get your British passport and you got everything, you just go to the post office, you just fill the form, just send it to the post office, they check it there, boom, and then I don't get it. When there are means that we can make money, we don't want to make it. Meanwhile, we go begging. Honestly, maybe if somebody gets it, let me know, but I don't get it at all. Simon, thank you very much. He said, I'm loving the discussion on here. I am a Caribbean descent, but of course my bloodline is Africa, and we love you to bits. Let me say good morning, special good morning to Rosita. She's also a Caribbean who is visiting Ghana. She tells me that it's just like Jamaica, so she's just feeling at home there. Good morning to you. I hope you are enjoying your stay. All right then. Now let's come to Yomi for the rest of the stories and what is happening on the social media platform. Over to you, sir.
Just going to go straight to the social media because of the time spent already, and I think we just focus on ASU. I mean, I'm just watching, even though we can't play that video, but according to Archie Media, Tinubu in 2015 promised Nigerians that ASU will never go on strike under the APC. That is now a total fraudulent lies. Today, ASU strike broke a 7-month strike record under APC, and Tinubu, now the presidential candidate of the same APC, go around shamelessly campaigning with the same empty promises. Imagine, there's no way he can distinguish himself away from the party. This was a party that came with a change, then they came with the next level, and the next level means there's more terrorism in the country. Even though we couldn't discuss that, but I will probably we will talk about that tomorrow. When we talk about the depth that Nigeria is as we speak right now. And it's just a shame that Nigerians at home have to feel the brunt that even the government now says that if you return student from Ukraine, why not enroll into an indefinite strike university? Because most of the places that are on strike are the state and the federal university, apart from the private one. And the question is, how many Nigerians can afford a private university? So that's where we're going to stop. So it's just that the more conversation this morning is the ASU strike that is trending on the Twitter. And if I just take one more from FC Yusuf, some of those are also supporters of Peter Obi, so definitely what they will be saying will be something that will definitely be against the government. It seems there's an agenda to absolve the failed federal government from the ASU saga and blame the industrial action on ASU. I could see this spastic and mentality APC guys tweeting same thing. Education is the responsibility of the government, not ASU. Shine your eyes. So a lot of Nigerians are reacting. And then the last one, Momo say, if Major General Buhari at least sit with ASU and give them a sense of importance, they will budge. It makes them understand that it will be with them for a week to solve the issue, but I don't think he's interested just as this person says, he seems not to be interested. We couldn't even find his own certificate anyway, so he ended up, certificate was nowhere to be found. So he's not interested in the education as well.
Well, listeners, interesting when it comes to Africa. My goodness, and Nigeria. But God's enemy says that, well, to get Nigerian passport is hell. Government is being paid. 17,500, and the immigration officer will collect over 25,000 upward. So, I beg, just let end Nigeria now. Adesina Ademo says, my brother collect his Nigeria passport. His brother collected his Nigerian passport 6 months after signing up. I collected my passport 3 months after signing up, in spite of the fact that I paid extra for express. Regards, Bishop Adesina. Bishop, thank you very, very much. Now, what you want to say is on ASU. Politicians in Nigeria will always be politicians, and that's what the ASU people are saying. They are saying that for 5 years, the government seems to be lying to them. Now, God said, let me say, it's bank account needed passport to upgrade now. Of course, I don't get it. I don't get what is going on there. But you know what? Tomorrow we have more conversation on that front. Yummy, before you go.
With Starr Radio UK, we're back again after 1 day, due to the bank holiday. And like I said, I'll be back again same time tomorrow at 11 o'clock, where we bring you all the news and the headline from Nigeria. But for now, I'll be back again tomorrow. Have a very good afternoon, good day, or good evening, because we're watching. We're all over the world. People are watching us from Australia, and it's quite very late as we speak right now in Australia. So that means, we say good evening to you on the other side of the globe. I'll be back again, but don't touch the dial because you still have Archie to take you through the rest of the segment of the program. Bye for now, Mr. Archie.
Bye-bye. Okay, listeners, that has been Miss Olayomi Koiki bringing you updates from Nigeria. I am Archie. We're going to be taking a break, and once we come back, we'll continue with some of the other stories making the rounds. But keep your comments, coming through, and I promise you one thing for sure, that I'm gonna read them. So wherever you are, stay tuned. Don't you tag the dial. It is Starr Radio UK. As I announced earlier on, this afternoon, exactly at 1:30, we'll be having BB Clement on BB Means Business, and she'll be having as her guests, Sandra Ramsey, Nicole, and Bimbo Osagi, and they'll be looking at fractional property investment and how you can develop different income, and also if you want to invest in property in Spain, it's booming like no man's business, and I'll be telling you how you can also do so there as well, because it's all money. And during these times where there are challenges and difficulties, name it, it would be nice for you to know that you got some money to go to. All right, yes. So wherever you are, don't you go away. Let's take a quick break. I'll bring you some music and we'll continue with the program. 10 minutes on the top of the hour at a time. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur, and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes.
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world will adjust. And 2019,
forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Okay, welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. The time now, 5 minutes to the top of the hour. As I said, the program is going to be coming to an end exactly at 12:30. That means that we've got ourselves 35 minutes to look at all the stories making the rounds. But don't you worry, I'm going to bring you all the full length of that song during the course of the program. So stay tuned. Just let's enjoy, or let me bring you all the other stories that is making the rounds in other parts of the world. I remain yours sincerely.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Starr Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say Orta, you say fire.
Okay, so that's fire on the mountain. God to them, he says APC brought change from bad to worse. Somebody will say, well, they brought change, whatever it is. You want change, they brought change. But well, I mean, our leaders, what do they think? Is it that themselves? Nepotism? I mean, me, myself, my dog, that kind of life that our leaders lead. My goodness. Well, whatever it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now let's move on to some other stories making the rounds across the globe. Now in Ghana, we have the former president of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, has taken a swipe at the Ghana's judiciary. He said he's going to court now. It's not something a number of people consider because of how the court system is influenced in recent times. Now, John Dramani Mahama said it is a national security threat for people in the country to lose trust in the judiciary, which is supposed to be an independent arm of government. He said, while opening the second annual lawyers conference of the opposition National Democratic Congress on Sunday, August 28th. Recently, so badly has the image of our judiciary deteriorated that many of our citizenry openly mock or make mockery of our justice system, of our justices. The phrase "go to court" is these days met with the receive our laughter instead of hope that one will truly get justice if he will or if he went to the courts. Now, if people are not poking fun about politics and inducements being used to sway the hand of justice in the lower courts, then it is poking fun and making statements about 7-0 of the unanimous FC verdicts, which mostly involves cases of political nature in our Supreme Court. This is an unfortunate but serious development. One of the scariest existential threats to any democracy is when citizens think their judiciary holds no value for them or no use to them. This is the security threat that the national security apparatus tried to draw the attention of the nation to recently, but was poorly received by the president and his party. Now, it is scary because it threatens the peace and stability of our democracy, and we must quickly correct that fast spreading notion. If care is not taken, we will get to a state where people will have no qualms about taking the law into their own hands, and because they do not have the confidence that they can get any justice in the system. Now, there is therefore the urgent need for the Ghanaian judiciary to work to win the trust and confidence of the citizenry and erase the widely held perception of hostility and political bias in legal proceedings at the highest court of the land. Now, unfortunately, we have no hope that the current leadership of our judiciary can lead such a process of change. We can only hope that the new Chief Justice will lead the process to repair the broken image that our judiciary has acquired over the last few years. But saying that, he's being bashed once again, saying that, well, he shouldn't say that. But at times, the truth should be told to power, and that seems to be what he's doing. And if I think that when I take my case to the courts, I'm not going to get a redress that I am seeking, now what's the point of wasting my time to take the case to the court? Now, if I have other means to make sure that I protect my dignity, my property or anything, then I'll just go on whatever path. And that is serious. I agree with him. That is a serious case. Well, as he said, one security expert did make a statement and was taken out of context, and this person had lots of bashing. But what do you think about that? Do we just leave things to be as it is, and then we just get on as we get on, and by the time we say jack, we'll be finding ourselves in some serious asshole? What do you think? Well, it's all Starr Radio UK. Let me allow the lines open at 12 o'clock, a minute after 12 now. 0208-133-2257 or 58 is the number. 0208-133-2257 or 58 is the number. Now, US or Canada is 001-718-303-2737. 001-718-303-2737. You can also text or WhatsApp me. It is 075-3966-1744. 075-3966-1744. Our Twitter handle has always been at Starr Radio UK, and email address has always been info@starradiouk.com. Just get in touch and I promise you I'm going to read or share your take or get your voice online for everybody to hear you there as well. All right then. Now let's move on to some other stories making the rounds on the African continent and still in Ghana before we go to other parts of the continent as well. Now 17.4 billion in financial irregularities recorded in 2021 Auditor General's report. Well, I think he's going to be shown the door pretty soon if he goes on auditing and bringing such bad reports. I mean, that is evidence of what is going on there. As to whether you know, at times it's poor record keeping that causes this because people are not keeping records or receipts of transactions that have taken place and stuff like that, and therefore we have the tendency, we have issues with that. But a total of 17.4 billion Ghana cedis in financial irregularities have been flagged by the Auditor General in its latest report submitted to Parliament for the 2021 financial year. This represents 36% rise compared to that of 2020. This is the conclusion reached by the Auditor General after an audit of the accounts of at least 101 institutions. Now, similar audit reports conducted on institutions in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020 showed irregularities to the tune of 12 billion, 3 billion, 5.4 billion, and 12.8 billion respectively. Okay, that's for 2017 it was 12 billion, 2018 3 billion, 2019 5.4 billion, 2020 12.8 billion, and 2021 we have what? 17.4 billion. So it keeps going up. Now, is it that because these people are not set charged for whatever waste or poor record keeping that has taken place, therefore they are not punished, that will serve as deterrent to others? That is why this seems to be ongoing, or rather accelerating, or rather rising. I mean, a poor country. Well, similar audit reports. Let me go on from there. 4.6 billion increase for the year 2021 is blamed mainly on credit power sales of 6 billion involving Volta River Authority and Northern Electricity Development Company (NEDCO). Now, this was occasioned mainly by credit power sales of 6 billion and 43 million and 6 billion 43 million 83,274.01 to VRA and NEDCO customers. We recommended strict implementation of our recommendation to ensure financial discipline in the management of public resources, the audit report stated. The compromise. This comprises the sale of power to mines, ministries, departments, and agencies, and government's COVID-19 relief program. Now, failure by management to document agreements covering some of these transactions, as well as following through to recover the monies, have been cited as the reasons for the situation per the report. The Auditor General wants the two power sector players to set up efforts to recover these monies. The report cites the COVID-19 National Trust Fund for failing to account for an amount of 254 million Ghana cedis spent on the procurement of personal protective equipment (PPE). This was money paid to the COVID-19 private sector fund for the procurement. Interesting. On the contrary, our vouching disclosed that out of $10.257 million paid via payment voucher number 05900507 dated 16th of June 2020 to Ghana COVID-19 Private Sector Fund, a private organization for the procurement of medical equipment and personal protective equipment (PPEs), only 10 million had been accounted for, with an outstanding amount of 254 million not accounted for as at the 31st of December 2020. So where did that money go to? It is said power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Is that what we are seeing? But after all, what can you do? So I'm not going to keep records of it for you to be able to say that even personally, this is what I got out of it. So yes, oh, where is the receipt? I can't find it. Oh, we spend that and that. We spend in totality so much, and that seems to be what is happening. What a shame. Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 7 minutes past 12 the time. The morning show, the program. Well. The judiciary have also been caught in that as well. In the Accountant General's report. Well, let's come to one other story from Ghana, and then we bring that those updates to a close. Tomorrow, God willing, we'll bring you more from that front. Now, anti-graft campaigner Vitus Azim has expressed fear that the corruption allegation leveled against the ousted Commissioner of Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Colonel Kwejo Damwa, retired, will be swept under the carpet. Now, President Kufuor has directed Colonel Kwejo Damwa to hand over his duties and officer to the acting Deputy Commissioner Preventative Services following the expiration of his service. Now, apparently, his contract had expired more than 10 months, but he was still in office, so doing whatever he was doing. But many have linked the development to a report of the special prosecutor indicting the Commissioner of Customs and LaBianca Group. The special prosecutor had earlier written to Colonel Damwa demanding further documentation in relation to the LaBianca case and the auctioning of vehicles and other assets at the port. Now, the documents were to be made available to the office of the special prosecutor by the end of September. Vitus Azim, in an interview, said that the exit from office of Colonel Damwa retired may obstruct investigation. So what do you think can be done? It goes on further to say the possibility of this is that the matter is going to be a dead case because you ask the person to provide information, but you're no longer there and he does not have access to the information you are asking for. So what happens? Somebody may say it's an institution, so even if he is not there, you can provide information, but there may be some questions that the new person cannot answer, and you cannot hold the new person responsible if certain things were found not to have been done properly. How true is that? How true is that? But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio, okay? It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 9 minutes past the top of the hour, and it is the Tuesday edition of the morning show. I remain yours sincerely, your one and only Archie. Now let's move on straight to some other stories making the rounds on the African continent. Now, MPLA victory has divided opinions in Luanda. Yes, that's one of the stories making the rounds there. Let me bring that story your way. Angola's ruling party, MPLA, has won the presidential election, giving incumbent president Joao Lourenço a second term in the closest scrutiny in the country's history. In the Straits of Luanda, where the opposition obtained 62.25% of the votes, opinions are divided. I am very angry with this party. We don't want this MPLA, People's Movement for the Liberation of Angola party, to stay in power. Since 1975, it has always governed. We wanted another party to govern us because we want a change in the country. It is very complicated at the moment. How do we do it? Said street vendor Rebecca. In a court, another person said, I'm not happy because these were not the result that people were expecting. We expected something else. We voted for the opposition party. Only this wasn't enough. And we are unhappy. People are unhappy. We are really sad with the results that the CNE, the National Electoral Commission, announced, complained Fernandez Dominique, resident of Luanda. I'm very happy with His Excellency President Joao Lourenço. He's done a good job, and I also wish him good luck with his new 5-year term added student Jose Nelson. So various group of people in various ways or different ways of how they perceive the ruling MPLA. The ruling MPLA won 51.17 of the votes in what was its worst ever result since the independence from Portugal in 1975. It's all coming your way from Star Radio UK. Straight moving on to some other stories as well. Well, when it comes to the environment, African nations are calling out climate injustice ahead of COP27. Now, African countries on Monday called for an end to a climate injustice, saying the continent causes less than 4% of global CO2 emission, but pays one of the highest prices for global warming. Now, government officials, international organizations, NGOs, and the private sector from more than 60 African nations attended Monday's opening of Africa's Climate Week in Gabon's capital to prepare for the COP27 UN Climate Conference in Egypt in November. Host President Ali Bongo Ondimba told the gathering the continent has to speak with one voice and offer concrete proposals for COP27. The time has come for Africans to take our destiny into our own hands, he said, deploring the global failure to meet climate targets. Our continent is blessed with all the necessary assets for sustainable prosperity, abundant natural resources, and the world's youngest, largest working population, he said. But Africa and the rest of the world might address climate change when the UN's Intergovernmental Climate Panel, IPCC, described Africa as the most vulnerable continent. Now, droughts are causing extreme famines and displacing people, millions of people across the continent, Bongo said. Now, today, 22 million people in the Horn of Africa face starvation because of the drought, and famine. Countries in the south of the continent are regularly hit by cyclone. Rising sea levels threaten cities such as Dakar, Lagos, Cape Town, and Libreville. Now, Egyptian's Foreign Minister Samir Shukri's head of COP27, which will be held in the Red Sea resort of Sharm el Sheikh, said despite contributing less than 4% of global emission, Africa was one of the most devastated by the impacts of the climate change. And that's why I call on to say that, look, if they're not going to give you the money, if you can mine coal to help, bring down your energy costs, if you can, they're not sure what they've done to develop their countries, and now to say that now that's all stop, but they're not going to give you. See how much people are paying for their energy back there as well. Fuel prices and everything seem to be skyrocketing because we try to cap. Now, if they're not going to do that, let everybody just go on, and now we all know that we have all enjoyed it. So if you are paying for it, why not? But why should somebody enjoy while somebody sits and then they pay for the other person's enjoyment? I don't think that is fair. But I hope that African leaders are able to come together to actually sing from the same hymn sheet. It is all coming your way from Star Radio UK. 12:15 the time. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, the Kenya's opposition leader Raila Odinga has reiterated that he will respect the Supreme Court ruling. Odinga and his running mate Martha Karua, August 22, filed a petition to the country's top court challenging the outcome of the August 9 election. In a recent press conference, Odinga reaffirmed his confidence in the Supreme Court ruling despite saying that he won the just concluded presidential election. Odinga said he had proof that he had won the election, which requires a candidate to receive 50% of the vote plus one. He wants a recount. Now, Odinga said he had proof. The 77-year-old politician lost his fifth bid for the presidency by a narrow margin of around 230,000 votes, less than 2 percentage points. So, if there's a recount, what is going to happen? And they say that, Odinga might have won. What happens there? Whoops. Well, we wish them all the best. He said he will respect the results of the Supreme Court, and we hope that the Supreme Court delivers a fair and a true reflection of what had happened there. It is all coming your way from Star Radio UK. Now let's move on as we are coming to the tail end of the program. Now, the multi strikes on Kherson as Ukraine battles to retake region. Now, the story says Ukraine's military says it had destroyed key Russian control points, weapons, and warehouses as it tries to take back occupied Kherson. Now, it follows weeks of Ukrainian attacks aimed at cutting off Russian forces in the southern region, which has been controlled by Moscow since March. Now, Russia is reorganizing its forces around the Kherson. The UK's Ministry of Defense says as Ukraine goes on the counter-offensive. Now, Moscow claims Ukraine suffered heavy losses and their operation there has been a failure. The U.S. State Department says it cannot confirm the counter-offensive starting, but it has seen an uptick of the military activity in area. Meanwhile, East Africa, a region in the desperate need of food, is receiving its first shipload of Ukrainian grain since Russia's invasion. The vessel of the brave commander has docked in Djibouti, but has yet to start unloading or offloading its cargo. All right, then. It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, interesting. Now, Pakistan floods are monsoon on steroids. This is being said by the UN, describing what is happening in Pakistan. Now, Pakistan is facing a monsoon on steroids. The UN Secretary General has warned after floods submerged a third of the country. Now, Antonio Guterres urged the world to come to Pakistan's aid as he launched a $160 million appeal to help the tens of millions affected in the disaster. He blamed the relentless impact of epochal levels of rain and flooding. At least 1,136 people have been killed since June, and roads, crops, homes, and bridges washed away across the country. On Monday, the country's climate change minister, Sherry Rehman, described the situation as a climate-induced humanitarian disaster of epic proportions. Now, this year, record monsoon is comparable to the devastating floods of 2010, the deadliest in Pakistan's history, which left more than 2,000 people dead. In a video message, Mr. Guterres called South Asia a climate crisis hotspot, where people were 15 times more likely to die from climate impact. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, bringing the time now to 19 minutes past 12, and we are at the tail end of the stories that is making the rounds in other parts of the world. Well, in Baghdad, there's been a deadly attack there. At least 23 people are dead amid fighting after Muqtada al-Sadr decided to quit. Okay, just bear with me. My apologies, please. Okay, so it says at least 23 people have been killed in some of the worst fighting for years in Iraq's capital, Baghdad, sparked by key leaders' decision to quit politics. Now, gunshots and rocket fire rang out of a protest of Shia Muslim cleric Muqtada al-Sadr clashed with security forces and militias aligned with Iran. Mr. Sadr has ordered his supporters to withdraw from outside parliament, where they have been protesting for weeks. Iraq has been in a state of paralysis since an inconclusive election in 2021. The violence began on Monday after Mr. Sadr, one of Iraq's most influential figures, said he was withdrawing from political life. His bloc won the most seats in October's election, but could not agree on the formation of a new government with the second largest bloc comprised mainly of Iran-backed parties. Well, those are the stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. Let us now come home to the UK. Okay. We did talk earlier on about one person who was stabbed in the Northern Hill, stabbed and died. There were a few stabbings that went on there. Okay, so let me bring that your way first, and then we move on with some of the other stories. But this face looks a bit familiar. A 21-year-old man who died after being stabbed at Northern Hill Carnival has been named as rapper Takayo Nemhard. Now, Mr. Nemhard, known as Core Stretch, was attacked in Ladbroke Grove at about 20 hours BST on Monday. Now, police had to pull him out of a huge crowd and provide emergency first aid. He later died in West London Hospital. Now, his manager said the rapper, who was from Bristol, had gone to Carnival with his sister and friends. Now, Chris Patrick said this is the worst possible ending for a talented kid. Now, Core Stretch had nearly 11,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, with one of his songs having more than 300,000 streams. His YouTube video has been viewed more than 1 million times. He played for Bristol Rovers in his youth, but turned to drill music after injuring his right leg. Mr. Patrick posted on Instagram that his talent was endless, and I can tell you, guys, he was close to greatness. He added, my deepest condolences to TK's mother and father, his brothers, 2 sisters, girlfriend and child that will never meet his father. TK was a good kid, a good guy, and what has happened breaks my heart. Rest in peace, my friend. A family member at Mr. Namber's home in Bristol confirmed that he had died at the carnival on Monday evening and requested they be given privacy to grieve for him. A sad one, and a loss, a big loss for the family and for the country as well, and for community as well. But a sad one there. So Starr Radio UK, this senseless. So when it comes to stop and search, then you ask yourself the question, what do we do under such circumstance? What do we do? All right then. Starr Radio UK. Now, drought has been declared across southwest of England. Those are some of the stories making the rounds there. The environmental agency says the region is experiencing some of its driest condition in 90 years. Oh my goodness. And then some other story there as well. 2 teenagers drowned in love tragedy. But 2 pertaining to some of the incidents happening in the UK at the moment, that's a high cost of living on across the globe. Leopard maker Allah warns dairy prices will remain high. The maker of butter brand Leopard has said it expects dairy prices to remain high due to decline in global milk production and soaring costs. Allah reported a 17% rise in sales during the first 6 months of the year, driven by significant price increases. Now, Shoppers recently expressed shock that the price of 750-gram tub of Leopard surpassed £7 in some supermarkets. Allah, the UK's largest supplier of fresh milk and cream, said Ukraine war had pushed up farmers' costs. Now, Russia and Ukraine are among the world's biggest exporter of fertilizer and animal feed, but the Kremlin's invasion had disrupted supplies, leading to increased prices. Now, fuel prices were already rising as demand of energy increased after COVID restrictions were eased, but the war has pushed them up further because of the sanctions and severe disruption to shipment. I can tell you, I said they know exactly what they can do to resolve this, but they are failing to do that. Well, what do you think about all that? It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. A final story. Now, pubs across the UK will be forced to close due to energy costs soaring by as much as 300%, brewery bosses have said. Now, leaders of 6 of the country's largest breweries called for immediate government intervention on sky-high energy bills this winter. Now, the landlord of one pub in Essex said his energy costs had risen from about £13,000 a year to 35,000. Now, pub owners said the energy crisis will cause real and serious irreversible damage to the industry without support. The pub and brewery owners from 6 companies, GW Lees, Carlsberg, Maston, Admiral Taverns, Drake of Morgan, Green King, and St. Austell Brewery, sit on the board of the British Beer and Pub Association. In an open letter to the government, they call for urgent intervention, including a support package and a cap on the price of energy for businesses. Now, rocketing energy prices or bills come at the time when the number of pubs in England and Wales is failing, hitting the lowest level on record, 39,970 in June, according to analysis. Now, Simon Clary, who runs a plough in Great Chesford, Essex, said his gas and electricity bill had nearly tripled to 35,000 a year. Well, when it comes to the competition of the leadership of the Conservative Party, well, it's ongoing. You ask them and you're not sure what exactly one wants to do. But whatever it is, I want to say thank you very much for joining me today. Tomorrow, God willing, we're going to come your way with another edition of the morning show. But as I announced earlier on, this afternoon is going to be happening live, and I want you to be part of it. I mean, it doesn't. Maybe you're saying that I don't have any money on me at all. However, I want you to be assured that when you listen to BB Clement's program today on BB Means Business, it's going to talk about fractional property investment and how you can develop different streams of income from property. Now properties are going like no man's business, and it's in Spain, that area. You want to invest some of your money there, maybe 2 of you can put your money together, or 3, 4 of you put your money together, buy a property there, and somebody goes to, you'll be making money. There are ways to make the money. Okay, you want to know more? Make sure your dials are logged on Star Radio UK this afternoon exactly at 1:30 when BB Clement comes your way with BB Means Business. She'll be having as a guest Sandra Ramsey, Nico, and Bimbo Osaji. Okay, so on that note, I say thank you very much for tuning in to listen to me today. I will be with you tomorrow, God willing, exactement at 10 o'clock with another edition of the morning show. So wherever you are, stay tuned. Don't you go away. Enjoy the rest of your day, but remember, 1:30. All right then, enjoy this song and I'll be with you.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
The higher you build your barriers, the taller I become.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening.
You take my rights away, the faster